Hey everybody, welcome to the Badgers Ball Knower Show. We're going to try and be doing this a little more often, especially now that basketball season is coming up. So today, let's get a quick review of the volleyball game from last night. The number one Nebraska Cornhuskers got swept into the goddamn trash can by your Wisconsin Badgers. It was an awesome match. The Badgers looked impressive. They blew a big lead in the second half in the second set, but still managed to gut that one out and win. That's not something a lot of teams can say. They have really looked better as the season has gone on. At the start of the year, I wasn't quite sure if they would even be Big Ten champion contenders, let alone national title contenders. But I think after last night's win, you have to consider them the favorites to win the Big Ten and among a small handful of teams that could win the national title, which would, in case you forgot, be Wisconsin's second in a row. They also happened to beat Nebraska last year in the national finals, and they've also beaten the Huskers 9 times in a row overall, which is just hilarious considering the Nebraska wants to be known as a volleyball school, and they still just can never beat Wisconsin. That's just how it goes, Huskers. So last night's match was great. Sarah Franklin, the transfer from Michigan State, was outstanding. She had 21 kills, hit 38%. She was just a monster. She was everywhere. Whenever the ball went up and went towards her, it was buried into the ground or into a Nebraska player's dome. Devin Robinson was great. 9 kills, 6 blocks, 6 digs. Oh, Franklin had 6 digs too. They were just, the players were, they were all over the court diving for balls. But Orzel had 11 digs. Ashburn had 10. Guchtekin, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, had 9. Hamill had 8. And that's awesome just to see all these players getting down and dirty to just try and beat what the voters thought was the best team in the country. But that's clearly not the case. What other stats do we have? 6-1 in aces. I mentioned in my post before the game that serving would be important, and the Badgers took that category handily. They had 42 assists to Nebraska's 33. They were actually outblocked by the Huskers, but that's not that big of a deal when you hold Nebraska to 16% hitting while you are almost at 21%. So not as huge of a deal when you only have a half more block than the Badgers. As far as the rest of the season goes for Wisconsin, I'm very interested to see how they respond to this Saturday's match. They get Minnesota at the Fieldhouse. Minnesota, you may recall, is the last team to beat the Badgers this year, and they actually swept Wisconsin, but that seemed to light a fire under the team as they haven't lost since and have looked better in each successive week that they've been playing. I think if they get a win there, they have a really strong case to be ranked number 1 when the new poll comes out next week. Although the volleyball poll, there's never a lot of movement in the volleyball poll like you might see in football or basketball. It's very strange. I still haven't figured out how the voters react to stuff like this. So I guess it'll be a good test to see a top 5 team scoring 2 wins, one over the number 1 team and one over a top 10 team as well. See what they think about that if it were to happen. I think that this year's team should be now considered the favorites in the Big Ten, which would be their 4th straight Big Ten title. I may be wrong about that, but they've definitely won a bunch in a row. Kelly Sheffield is doing the best coaching job of anybody on campus. He has turned Wisconsin into a powerhouse. They are a blue blood when it comes to volleyball now. And while they'd always been competitive, I don't think that was truly the case until these last few years. They've kind of kicked the door down like a Clemson in football did recently. And with the way recruiting has been going for Sheffield, I don't see him and the team slowing down much at all moving forward. So that's it for today. I'd like to keep these videos short. I don't have the attention span to watch videos that are much longer than this. And I certainly don't want to make you watch videos much longer than this. So just let me know what you think. I'll try and do these as regularly as possible. I'm hoping to get a Big Ten women's basketball preview show up here in the next couple of days with a friend of the newsletter, Wyatt Crozier, who writes about Big Ten women's hoops in the Hoopla newsletter, which you can subscribe to for free. And hopefully get him on here later this week and we can talk some ball. All right, everybody. Thank you.